In a couple of hours, Bill Hartzer is supposed to come on the podcast. Bill Hartzer is a legendary SEO, has been doing it for many decades, is very vocal. And he's a forensic SEO. He's someone like me who goes crazy deep. He goes so deep. He learns so much and he loves to learn. And so in preparation for the podcast, in preparation for him coming on, I'm going to share a couple interesting things he said about SEO on Reddit. I've shared one of these things before, and it was so interesting that it went really viral, getting like 2.5 million views. So Bill Hartzer is great. I'm just going to read some things off. I'm really excited to have him on. Here are some interesting SEO things from Bill Hartzer. He says, in the footer of your homepage, put a link to your homepage with the exact match anchor text to your homepage. And then he goes, I don't use it, but there's a link scheme service called One-Way Links that's still working after 20 years. A paid service that's essentially one big PBN. You're in Group A, but you link to sites in Group E, which links to sites in Group B, etc., etc. So annoying, but it still works for sites who participate. Constantly run across it in certain niches. And this was posted in a thread, what's your this shouldn't work, but it does SEO tactic. Here's another interesting one about ranking for your name if there are any negative results. So maybe there's like a lawsuit or something and you want to rank above that result. And I'm sure you know somebody who this has happened to, or maybe it's happened to yourself, where something bad happened when people Google the name, a lawsuit or some report shows up, and you want to bury that. And this is what Bill Hartzer says. It's fairly easy to rank higher for your name above any negative results. It just takes some time and being creative. I've done this a lot for clients, and the most difficult was a result that was on justice.gov. That domain has a lot of authority. But about 6 to 9 months later, and it's buried. A few thoughts. You need content, unique pages with your name created, social profiles, blogs, websites with your name, sites using your name in the domain name, all can get crawled and indexed. So you can spend the time doing that, updating them and posting regularly on social media, or you can pay someone to do that. One alternative strategy is to find other people with your same name and get pages with their name to rank. When someone searches for your name, Google doesn't know if they're searching for the guy or girl that's the chef, nurse, DJ, college student, etc. So they will show a few different people with the same name. That strategy, concentrating on multiple people, can really make it a lot easier for their pages to rank above any negative result about you. Oh man, that was so good. I'm going to make a video about that for Instagram and TikTok. I think it will go viral. That is just hot content. Bill Hartzer is dropping gems on Reddit, and so few people know. This guy is a legend. So someone wrote, I've been dropping in my rankings and I need advice. And Bill Hartzer said, if you've been dropping in rankings, try refreshing the content. Even a few small changes to text on a page and republishing can help because of the freshness algorithm. But even the freshness isn't going to help longer term. Make sure you analyze pages using an entity analysis tool and do entity SEO on those pages. Bill Hartzer is really into entity SEO. I'm going to ask him about it on the podcast. I've talked about it a bit. I know a good amount about it. Actually forgotten so much about it. But I tend to dumb down entity SEO by saying search intent and take the keyword and put it in your page title, beginning of the page title, beginning of the meta description, URL slug, H1, and beginning of the first sentence. And think about search intent. Look at other pages and what are other pages for the keyword? What terms do they use related to the keyword, related to the niche? I think it's a lot easier for people to understand that than entity SEO. And the other thing is, this is just pretty easy. And in 80% of circumstances, putting the keyword in the places that I just talked about and actually thinking about search intent and then having a small introduction, giving a call to action right away. So you're giving people what they want right away. When you're doing that, and that's search intent because people want to get their answers, their solutions fast. When doing that in 80% of scenarios, that's good enough. But Bill Hartzer, he writes a lot about entity SEO. He's really into it. And so I'm going to ask him to talk about it. I think it'll be good. Oh, this is something that he wrote that I liked. It's about low volume keywords. Bill Hartzer said, just because a tool doesn't show any keyword search volume for a particular keyword or related keywords does not mean that there's no search volume. You're the first, so to speak, so the keyword research tools don't know to look and track those keywords. What happens when you search Google for those keywords? Are there relevant results? I bet there are, and you'd just be ranking easier for those keywords. Create the content and optimize pages for those keywords, then build out the site with generic content that would apply to any location. This was for location-specific keywords that someone believed had no search volume. So he said, create the content and optimize pages for those keywords, then build out the site with generic content that would apply to any location. And the poster who Bill Hartzer was responding to said, I'm unsure what keywords to use because search volumes are so low. Bill Hartzer said, don't worry about the location or the geographic keywords, just mention your location and nearby cities. Even serving the X metro area, an X sort of thing, is enough. Google will understand your location. I think a lot of people underestimate the extent to which Google can understand and correlate. And so I thought that last part especially, even just mention your location in nearby cities will be good enough. And that's also what I was saying. Just a lot of it is you don't need to over optimize. A lot of the things in SEO will be good enough because so few websites are actually doing the fundamentals properly. So few websites think about search intent and put the keywords in the right places. Now, if you're in the hardest niches, the most competitive niches, that's when it can start getting really intense. And entity SEO, by the way, is a way of making a page that better satisfies search intent too. I'm going to share this post in a couple of episodes from now, but there was a post on the SEO subreddit, and I'll ask Bill Hartzer his opinion too. Backlinks or engagement. And someone said, if website A ranks number 1 for the keyword, website B is ranking like way below, but then gets a lot of backlinks with exact match anchor text, bringing it to rank number 1 above website A. But website A, which is now ranking number 2, has better engagement. As in, more searchers, when they land on website A, which is ranking number 2, more searchers click through to other pages, scroll on the page, stay on the page, less searchers bounce and pogo stick and return to the search results. So website A it has a better page with more engagement that satisfies search intent. Will website A eventually rank above website B, even though website B has all these backlinks and exact match anchor text? And most of the people were like, yeah, website A is going to rank back above website B because Google is an engagement game now. It's like TikTok. It's like Instagram Reels. You can do hacks to get your content seen and to rank number 1. But if it's a bad page, it's not going to last that long relative to the other pages for the keyword. So personally, I think SEO is largely about targeting the keyword properly and satisfying search intent fast and thoroughly. That's kind of my belief on SEO. However, I don't know everything, and neither does Bill Hartzer. And he wrote, and I just like this quote a lot. I think it's very humble, and it's just a nice quote. And if you feel insecure about your SEO knowledge, this is what Bill Hartzer says. Honestly, I've been doing SEO for over 25 years now and still don't know it all. It's always changing. I wrote that one. I thought it was good. And here's the last one. And this is the one that I read on a TikTok, Instagram reel that went really viral. And this is what caused me to be like, I should look more into this guy. Oh my God, I'm going to invite him on the podcast. So he talked about this Google Maps local SEO hack. And he said, whenever you drive to your location, always enter the address in Google Maps and use the driving directions. I'd use the driving directions whenever you think of doing it. Whenever you can remember to do it, have others do it as well with their phones. By the way, I know someone who provides a service where you pay them and they will drive to your location along with their 100 plus phones, all doing driving directions. This is a little extreme, but there is a reason they are doing this and providing the service. It works. It shows Google that the location is worth noting, so to speak, as people are driving to the location. So that is a few interesting things from Bill Hartzer. It took me, honestly, just 30 minutes reading his Reddit to find these. He is posting just some gems. I'll share the link to his Reddit profile in the description for this episode, and I'm looking forward to having him on the podcast in a couple of hours. I had so much fun researching this and sharing these, and I hope you had fun listening. And that is all for episode 607 of my daily digital marketing show. Yesterday's episode 606 was a banger if you didn't listen. I had on Kata Dervishi. Kata Dervishi is 23 years old, making millions of dollars a year, posting 7 times a day to TikTok and Instagram Reels. I think her most viewed video, I thought it was 35, and I was looking further. I thought it was 35 million. It's 70 million. And she's essentially doing build in public with her business. She's just sharing updates about her e-commerce business. It's 7 times a day with videos. She sells relationship jewelry and relationship clothing, posts 7 times a day. She does live streams. She just focuses on being authentic while showing off the product 7 times a day. She wakes up at 5 a.m., 23 years old, wakes up at 5 a.m., in bed by, I think, 8 or 9 p.m. Complete animal. And I told her, I'm like, you're an animal. You are crushing. I'm like, I thought I was hot stuff posting 3 times a day. You're posting 7 times a day. And so she came on the podcast, and that was episode 606 yesterday. And that's a really good listen. People are really liking that one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this next guest, Bill Hartzer. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.